Thank you for joining us, Tommy. So Tuesday was an absolutely marvellous night here at the Walks. We all thoroughly enjoyed it. And one thing to be said, we didn't look like losing at all. You must be proud of that.
Yeah, it was a really good performance. I mean, I was a little bit loud after the Dover game, only because I was disappointed with anything. I was just a little frustrated myself that we didn't win the game with the amount of chances and the amount of possession we'd had. But I sort of calmed myself down, and on the bus on the way home, I had a little walk back to the back of the bus, got the boys together and said, look, this will be a great point if we can go and add to it on Tuesday night. And the fact that they came out, like you said, from the off, I thought we were on the front foot. You know, Andy himself, the Bromley manager, gave us great praise after the game and said, look, Tom, you lads look like they wanted it a little bit more than us. Not something it's easy for a manager to say, but that's probably the ingredient there. After the Saturday, which was most pleasing, we didn't feel sorry for ourselves. We didn't look upon it as a negative result at Dover, but we knew to make it a good result, we had to go in and get the points on Tuesday night. So, you know, it's momentum. It's good, but it's gone. You know, at the end of the day, before the Dover game, we were really buoyed because we'd had a really good performance against Halifax and result. So what we've got to try and do now is put them back to back and carry on the momentum. Unfortunately, we had Stockport in the middle, which sort of derailed us for a day. But you know, again, we're not defined by being beaten by champions elect. It's one of them things.
That brings us on nicely to the form. Is fantastic in a minute. It is one loss in the last 5. That's not form for where we are in the table. How do you find managing a team that is now coming through confidence? Is that easier than what was before this?
Well, we spoke about this as a staff, and we look for reasons, or we look for trends or patterns or personnel who potentially play better together than other personnel. Usually you do this over a longer period, but the short time we've been in here, we feel we know the best players now for the positions that we play in the different formations. And sometimes it clicks and sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, form's temporary. They say that class is permanent, but I think to get to the point we are now and the form we're in, we probably couldn't have timed it any better. What we've got to do is maintain it, and that'll decide whether it is form or it's actually class or ability, or whatever you want to look at from the players' points of view. What I will say is every player in the building has been engaged, have been focused, have been coachable, they've listened. Some have been frustrated because they haven't had as much game time, possibly as they've had before I came in the building, or even they might have been in the team when I first come in, but they've managed to find themselves out of it. All I keep saying to them is, you know, I understand the frustration, but don't show it visibly. Use it as a tool, really, because ultimately, you know, if you're not ready when I do call upon you, it's the individual's fault. It's not our fault. We can give them all the help they need and require in terms of fitness and tactics and that, but they've got to keep themselves in good nick. So that's my message to the lads not in the side. There's still a long way to go.
Well, that comes into, it was a fast-paced game on Tuesday, really full-blooded, everyone gave 100%. How are we looking in shape?
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned when you're winning games or you're on a good run of form, the niggles and the knocks tend to be just that. If it's a lack of confidence, they tend to hurt a little bit more. So you can imagine there's a good buzz around the place, but we try to keep a lid on it. Like I said, we treat the winning and the losing is the same. You know, it happens. You look at it, you analyse it, you learn from it, you move on from it. Simple as that. So in physical condition, I think we're in as good a place as we can be. Harry's still not around yet, and obviously Kyle McFadden. Everybody now knows about Mal. We wanted to keep that under wraps a little bit because we weren't sure he was definitely going to have surgery, but I'm delighted that his surgery's been a success, and everybody here at Lynn wish Mal a really speedy recovery, and I'm sure he'll be back on his feet in no time and terrorising people in the back line somewhere.
So Yeovil present a different challenge. What do you expect from them?
Well, they're a huge club. They're a very famous non-league club, but they've also been in the league very recently and got as high as the Championship. They were the ultimate giant killers, or are still sometimes in the FA Cup. But they're a solid outfit. Good football. People have been there. Charlie's taken over. I think it's his first time as a manager, but the guy's got loads of football experience. We're expecting nothing again other than a really tough encounter. You know, we've got to make sure that we impart our will on them more than they do on us. And as we did against Halifax, as we did against Bromley, if we can do that, we'll give them a right good game. Again, I think there are teams or clubs in this division we can't compete with over 44 games, but we can compete with them over 90 minutes in one game. That's not just Yeovil, that's all the games we have left. You know, like I said, we can't compete with a Notts County or a Grimsby over the whole season, but we certainly can give them a game when we face them, and that's what we'll do with Yeovil.
We actually managed to beat Yeovil before you were here, second game of this season. So the lads must feel confident, and with the form we're on, there must be something there going, yeah, we can do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a case. Some players will have teams that they'll feel more confident against than others, but that's a long time ago. I'm sure the personnel in the Yeovil side is very different, and as is the personnel in the Lynn side, as is the benches. So from that point of view, it's a distant memory. Like I said, it'll be shelved, you know, but it'll be viewed as a success for Lynn, because there wasn't many early in the season. So yeah, I'm sure Yeovil have got a point to prove on that score, so it works both ways. But let's see. I expect a good game. Hopefully the weather will be as it is this morning, and there'll be a few people in here to watch it.
We had a brilliant crowd on Tuesday. Let's hope for the same again on Saturday.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't believe the number when I heard it, because it sounded 3 times more than that. I think there's been something growing in the last few weeks here. The atmosphere created by the fans, as a result of their reaction to what's been happening on the pitch, I believe, you know, is been excellent. And I just urge them to keep coming in their numbers. You know, we've got, 4 left here? 3 left here. They need to fill this place out. We don't want any team coming here and taking over in number. And if they do, we certainly don't want them taking over in voice. They won't take over my voice, so let's hope the fans can help me and keep theirs going as well.
And then a personal note, Tuesday, were you proud to see your son score the goal for you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, during the time at work, I don't class him as my son, honestly. He's a player, he's got a certain skill set that is slightly different to other lads. Delighted for him because it was the eve of his birthday, funny enough, so it was a great birthday present for him, and his granddad was yet to see him play for the first time, so he probably was a bit more proud than I didn't even realise it was him that scored, if I'm honest with you, not until he ran over. So listen, he's part of a group of lads who I know are giving their all, and I joked with him, but you know, I think that's 10 or 11 games he's played. I expect him to score. I mean, I think it's one of the first times I've seen him score from inside the box rather than outside. So it's something I expect Cameron Hargreaves to chip in, Shooter to chip in, Michael to chip in. All midfield men have the licence to get forward and be a striker when we've got the ball. So yeah, the fact he's beaten my son, that was the day after when we eat his birthday cake.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Tommy. Good luck tomorrow.
No problem.